Chimpanzees cannot speak human language because they don't have the vocal structure needed to speak. But we do know that humans have taught apes to learn American Sign Language, and in doing so, they've been able to communicate with humans. Researchers Alan and Beatrix Gardner, for example, compiled more than 400 American Sign Language signs that their 3 chimps have learned to use through extensive training. Another animal, Kanzi, a bonobo, which is a type of ape, understands at least 3,000 English words and uses symbols to communicate with his teacher and other people. His teacher is Dr. Sue Savage Rumba. When Kanzi was 7 years old, they compared his language comprehension to a 2.5-year-old human. Both of them had 660 spoken requests to see whether they were able to understand and perform the requests. And it turns out they were both able to perform the commands at about the same rate. They were both about 70% successful. Moreover, what's really fascinating is that one study showed that 5 chimpanzees who knew how to sign actually communicated with each other for quite a bit. And when they analyzed their signs, they found that 88% of their conversations were about social interactions. These are things such as play and reassurance. The other 12% were about things such as grooming, talking to themselves, feeding, disciplining, and even cleaning. That's pretty amazing. Another fascinating discovery was about a chimpanzee named Washo. She actually began teaching her adopted son to sign. And only 8 weeks after learning sign language from his adoptive mother, he began to sign regularly with humans. So how cool is this stuff? I really love it. It makes me teaching my dog how to bark when I say speak seem kind of mundane, when these animals can learn how to actually communicate using sign language. There's a lot of other studies like this, so we'll post some links in the instructor's notes box for you to check out if you're interested in it. So the moral of the story is that yes, for some animals, they can learn to communicate using human language. However, not at the level you and I speak. So let's go to Susan to introduce our last area that we're going to discuss about language.